Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Pastor Study. We are journeying through Philippians. We are in chapter 2, and Paul begins chapter 2 with the word therefore. That means we got to go back a little bit and understand some of the things that he's talking about. And he's saying, that he has been through some difficult times, and he understands the need to live for Christ. And he says, therefore, and he says, if there be, or if there is any, and he goes on and lists a couple things, any encouragement in Christ, if there's any consolation in love, if there's any fellowship of the Spirit, if there's any affection and compassion. Those are not questions if, but they're really statements. Yes, there is. These things are true. And so he says, based on the fact that these things are true, there is encouragement in Christ. There is consolation of love. There is fellowship in the Spirit. There is compassion and affection. He says, as he's writing this to the Philippians, he says, make my joy complete by being of the same mind. Now, that doesn't mean we all think alike or we all do the same thing. We all have to act the same way. But we need to be united in Christ. We need to be obedient to the Scriptures as one. He says that's where you need to be complete. He says united in spirit, intent on one purpose. The purpose of getting the gospel out. The purpose of growing in Christ, the purpose of helping others find their way to the salvation message. This is the challenge for all of us, that we need to be diligent about this. We need to be diligent about serving God and rejoicing in Him. That's what he's saying. We need to be one under the umbrella of the Scriptures, under the umbrella of who Christ is. And he says, this is what my goal is, as Paul's writing to them, that he wants to see complete Christians in Philippi. And he would write that to us today. Make my joy complete. Be united under the Scriptures. Don't have to look the same. Don't have to act and say everything the same or dress the same. But be united in Christ and the truth of the Word of God. So go out and make Paul's joy complete and fellowship and rejoice with fellow believers. Till next time in the Pastor Study, goodbye and may God bless.